Protests are still raging in Hong Kong 9 weeks after an extradition bill was introduced. That bill would allow anyone arrested in Hong Kong to be extradited to mainland China. NBC foreign correspondent Matt Bradley is in Hong Kong with the latest on how the unrest has disrupted the city and what we can expect in the coming weeks.
That's right, Allison. This general strike today is one of the biggest protests we've seen so far in these 9 weeks of protests here in Hong Kong. There were hundreds of flights at Hong Kong International Airport that were delayed or canceled. The MTR, which is the mass transit system, it's a very effective system here in Hong Kong, was delayed and saw backlogs and cancellations throughout the day, especially in the morning. And the streets, as you can see, this street has been blocked off by protesters. This is happening throughout Hong Kong. There were about 7 different rallying points all throughout the city. And while it really brought this whole major financial center to a gridlocked stop, it also did something else. It forced Carrie Lam, she's the executive, she's basically the leader of Hong Kong, to come out and make a statement for the first time in 2 weeks. Now, the joke here in Hong Kong was that if there's a general strike today, that Carrie Lam had been on strike for the past 2 weeks, but she finally came out and showed her face, and she gave no concessions. She refused to resign. She refused to fully withdraw that extradition bill that, as we've been talking about, has been the genesis of this from 9 weeks ago. That was going to see whoever was arrested here in Hong Kong possibly extradited to China, and that enraged people here. So she made no concessions, and instead she really kind of talked down to a lot of these very youthful protesters. But if today did nothing else, it showed that this isn't just a demonstration of young people and students, kids who are on their summer vacation. It's everybody from all walks of life, from government workers to airline agents to just everybody who does anything in this city. And if this city is nothing else, it's a place of business. So I want to talk about what you're seeing right here. This doesn't look like much. It looks like everybody's just milling about, but that's because all of the people who were here just a moment ago in Causeway Bay, this is one of the busiest streets in one of the busiest cities in the world, they came from the Legislative Council building across town, and they took the public transport system right here, and now they're planning on leaving. They're going to yet another destination, and that's because that has been one of the guiding principles of these 9 weeks of protests. These protesters say that they have to be like water. And that's actually a quote from Bruce Lee, of course, the famous martial artist and actor who's from here in Hong Kong. He basically was the leading light of the Hong Kong film industry. And he described his own martial arts system as being like water, because water takes the shape of whatever vessel you pour it into. And that's what the protesters are trying to do. They're trying to duck and weave like a martial artist, like a fighter, throughout the streets of Hong Kong. And it forces the police to be just as agile as the protesters. It allows them to feint in one direction and then abruptly move in another, and really confuse the police and all the residents of this city and bring everything to a screeching halt. And that's exactly what they did today.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.